All right, so yesterday we had something. We celebrated our those that were born in May. For those of you that are familiar with how our programs run, we have Omenka Cultural Group. Then we have Omenka Cultural Group where I live. Success. I'm surprised you're writing in day with 1A. Did somebody write that for you? I need to find out what's going on there. Who wrote that? And then you wrote Onyisi as well as 2 words. Is that this success or somebody else? Okay. You need to make that correction, please. You need to correct that. So we had the celebration of our May born, and somebody was not available. Is an elderly. I mean, is a mature man amongst the celebrants, and we appointed his son to represent him, and he has 2 sons. One of our community members. So, and his daughter is older than his 2 sons, and his daughter picked offense, and we were we enjoyed a scenario where the elders were telling her why she should not pick offense, why she should not get mad at the fact that his brother had to represent him. Okay, represent the father rather, instead of her, because she's older than the son, the brother. And so the parents were, we took turns in talking to our kids generally. Now, it is not that this is new to them. It's not that some of them are very much aware of the culture, the Igbo culture, which is also by extension the African culture, whereby the boy is to represent the father in the absence of the father, even though he might be the youngest. That is a cultural right for the boy. And we extensively try to tell the girl that that is not your right. That is the right of the brother. Okay? So, and at the end of the day, that sank into her. And I want to bring that story today to our conversation. The last 2 weeks, I have taught us Igbo proverbs. Akuzigom ilu. Kesi aghọta ilu Igbo. How to understand the Igbo proverbs. Tupu m ebido ikuzi ilu Igbo, akụzigo m ọtụtụ isiokwu gbasara ka esi ede Igbo, ka esi asụ Igbo, ndị na-amụ ka esi asụ. Those who are learning how to speak, I have taught those. I have taught different topics ranging from verbs, ngwa, nọchiaha, to nsokunye na mgbakunye. And today, we are here to look at, in the last 2 classes, I told us that there's no way you can be learning Igbo language without learning the culture. So I am opening it up, the conversation, in a way for you to talk on the language and the culture. And the instance I am bringing is coming from the scenario of yesterday, where the parents, where the elders were busy trying to make the younger ones, our kids, to understand that it is cultural for the boy to represent the father when there is need for that, even though that is the daughter, the girl is older than the boy. Okay? Happy Phoenix, yes, you are absolutely correct. Language and culture, they are one of the same. There's hardly any way you can separate the two rather. Even though when we start teaching as an academic exercise, we now look at each one separately, yet as one entity. And what Happy Phoenix says is to support the fact that I said you can hardly succeed in learning the language of a people without learning the culture. Now to today's topic. Gịnị bụ mkpa gị? Gịnị bụ nsogbu ị na-enwe ịmụta Igbo? Ị na-amụ ka esi ede? Ị na-amụ ka esi asụ? Gịnị bụ mgbalị ị na-enwe? Kedu ụzọ ijigoro nwee mgbalị ka ịmụta Igbo? Ma ọ bụ ka esi asụ, ma ọ bụ ka esi ede, ma ọ bụ omenala gbasara Igbo. And I want everybody to be open. This is another opportunity of conversation. If you are on TikTok, for instance, I have created today's conversation open. Is multiple guests, and I'm waiting to accept your invite so that we have this conversation. Right. Happy Phoenix, you are welcome, and I would like you to, if you do not mind, send me invites so that I can accept you and bring you up. Okay? And we would like to hear your story. All right. I would like you to come from the language or the culture, whatever position you are in. What is your problem with Igbo language? What is your problem with Igbo culture? Are you learning how to write? Are you learning how to speak? What are the efforts you've made? What effort are you currently making? And what effort are you willing to make? It is my pleasure to welcome you on board Happy Phoenix. Go ahead, my sister. And please, while she is on board with me, send your invite. I'm gonna accept you, whosoever is ready. Thank you. Nkechinya, I expect you to come up here. Go ahead, Happy Phoenix there. Go ahead.
Kedu. Kedu.
Odema Nembo Dalo Kedu.
Kedu. I've been married now 4 years. My husband has been in the U.S. 25 years, and it's a second marriage for both of us. Okay. So he has 3 sons by his Igbo wife, who he divorced 7 years ago. And I divorced 17 years ago. So all of our kids are between 24 and 21. They're all university finished. The last one is going to finish University of Chicago coming up next year. So the Igbo language is a beautiful language, number one. And I hear him on the phone with people back home, and we go back to the village, and we go to Port Harcourt every year for about almost 10 weeks. So we have extensive vacation time because we've been in our careers for a while and all that good stuff. So we're able to cobble together sick time and vacation time and take time to go. So when the family comes over to the house, this is where it gets interesting because they speak the language and it's so beautiful, and I understand response, and I look at the body language, so I can pick out a lot of things. But the thing is, to be I speak Spanish very well, so to be literate in a language, you have to read it, write it, and speak it. And so these are the hurdles that I find myself trying to ascend. And So I've learned the culture is dance, is music, is language, is food, is so many things that come together to equal the Igbo culture. And I understand it's a patriarchal culture. So the oldest son kind of runs the show, and he's the first and only son of five children. So it's four daughters after him. So my husband is the oldest son. Both of my in-laws on that side are in heaven now. So I have to rely on uncles and aunties to, teach me more, sisters and laws and all this kind of stuff. So it's very challenging because it doesn't the conjugate verb and the way the sentence structure is very different than English and even Spanish. Any Germanic language is very different. So I have to take my time and learn the vocabulary and build on the vocabulary. So I'm enjoying it though. That's my story.
Thank you, Happy Phoenix. Please, let's give a round of applause to our dear sister, Happy Phoenix. What is your Igbo name? They have given you an Igbo name, I know. What is your Igbo name?
Adaze, Adaze.
Adeze. All right, so I know that should happen, Adeze. All right, and I'm sure you know the meaning of your name, and we are happy to have you in our midst. I have first question for you. How long have you been in this class?
Um, I have to admit that I've probably been in your class maybe four times completely. So I haven't been very attentive, and it's not because of work schedule. I just have to know when you're going to be on, and I can sync up my schedule very well.
Okay, just so you know, I'm here 1 p.m. Eastern Time every Monday.
Okay, we're on the East Coast. We're in Maryland, so that's easy.
Yes.
I'll put that on my schedule. Yeah.
Yeah. Even if I'm late, it will be just like a few minutes late. Is that okay? All right. And then the other thing is that I created a Telegram group that I encourage us to join so that the Telegram group has two purposes. One, to give us that ample opportunity of sharing more in the Telegram group by text and having to have other people get into your case, your matter, to help you. I can assign a person to you free of charge if that's required. And then the second purpose for that Telegram group is we are trying to create actionable documentations of what is the pathway towards solving the problem of Igbo language for Igbo sons and daughters. And then if that rises up to policy position, whether it's back home or here in the United States, or even generally across the world. But I want us to be part of the movement that is going to create something for the Igbo community, how to advance the learning of Igbo language. Remember, everything we're doing is on the topic. Under the umbrella and campaign we have called Igbo Literacy Project.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes,
Wonderful.
and the idea we have is that several hundreds of thousands of Igbo sons and daughters are growing out there in Igbo, are out there outside of Igbo land, whether it's in Nigeria or in the US or everywhere. Millions of Igbo people are scattered all over the world. Over the time, this has become a problem for the language and culture. We carry our culture along, but sometimes if you do not know, look on the tone, you find out that the language is dying rapidly.
Yes.
There is hardly any transference from parents to children. Now think about the next generation, your children. When your children are going to be the fathers and mothers, what are they speaking to their own children? It is a big problem. And if one of the things you can do is to contribute towards that, pathway of creating a documentation, an actionable documentation for the Igbo people, for the next generation after us, that's what we're doing. And that's why we're inviting everybody to join that Telegram group. The link is on our TikTok account here. I had to remove our website and put that so that everybody would join. The Golden, I see you. You're welcome. So please, while I'm speaking with our sister Adeze, Happy Phoenix, if you have not joined that Telegram group, take a second, go to our bio on Omenka app on TikTok, and please click on that and join the Telegram group. We are making sure that everybody joins and be part of it. All right, now to your story, Happy Phoenix. The truth about the matter is, you may do little or nothing to teach your children Igbo, because you yourself, you are a learner.
Yes.
Both you and your children are adult learners. But from what you have said, I perceive, I feel the passion you have for Igbo language. I see the passion you have for your newly found community by
Yes.
marriage.
Yes, it's wonderful. And
Good.
luckily, my sister, my husband's ex-wife, she's Igbo, and they've taught the children, the boys, they know how to speak Igbo. So
Beautiful.
they know how to speak it now. Writing and reading, I don't know about that one, but I
Beautiful.
have to ask. But they do speak it very, very well, and they understand and comprehend. So for me, when it's learning by immersion. When I go to Nigeria, when I go to Igbo land, when I'm in the village of Forala, the ancient village of Aforala, and I'm at the village house and the family comes over, I just love it, love it, love it. So much love. It's just incredible. And it comes across in the language. And so we go visit the elders and we bless them with gifts, and it's just so wonderful. And I enjoy it. So I want to learn it very well. I have the desire to learn it very well.
Great. Oforola, I know the place. All right. So we are going to concentrate on you. Thank God that your children and they speak. At least, I mean, the children of your husband, they speak, and they we don't know whether they know how to write. Of course, I know that that's a huge one for everybody that is a native speaker of Igbo language. How to write is a huge one. Now, to answer your question directly, and to see how we can start by looking at your case primarily, what do you think is the aspect of Igbo that you desperately need to start from if you were to be guided consciously and intentionally, in addition to learning by immersion when you visit? What is that aspect that you think that you need desperately?
So we have a family that lives in the BQ, and the lady there, she goes with me to the market. And so when I go to the market, this is where it's important to be able to negotiate and to speak well about what you want to buy, how much you want to purchase. So real case scenario is she goes with me, and I have a PA that lives in Owerri that meets me as well when I go shopping in Port Harcourt or Lagos or wherever I go. And so I can't really get into conversation because I don't know the language. So this is a real case scenario. Bartering in the marketplace is something that would be helpful.
Okay. Do you know that we have an elaborate way of bargaining for prices in the market? Have you
Oh yes.
observed?
Oh, last. Last.
Okay. All right. That is a case study, and I would encourage. I will expect my team, the Omenka team, please. Those. I would like someone to develop. Sally take notes. Success take notes. To develop basic market conversation that we're going to post on the Telegram group, so that it will benefit our sister and all those that then please, that's going to be Igbo and the English translation of it and how the scenario comes. Please let me see if we can get that within a few days to come. Okay. Success and Sally. And if there's any other person who is part of this class and you are on that Telegram group, you can as well help us in generating some basic market conversation, and that will help out here. All right. That is number one. We will do that. The other one is in addition to that, what area, I know this, what you is also has, what you have put out there is both the language and the culture. What additional area do you think is of interest to you in relation to what we have been teaching in the class, especially the 4 times you've been here? What are those areas that you have observed that you might think, oh, I think I have a need in this area as well?
So you know, to know that, so we talk about custom culture tradition in the Igbo land, and you know, I think that in order to continue this historical, I mean, this wonderful culture, we have to also look at things like greeting elders, greeting, how we greet the elders, how we greet people. Everybody speaks to everybody, you know, and engage in conversation about what's going on with them. This is a way to teach language and culture and to fold it together, where you have greetings, you have basic conversations. You know, how's your mother? How's your father? How's, you know, this is what happens every day in the village, and how people greet each other. I think that's important. I think it's also important about the children. You know, when you come to the village, how the children doing? This is lets you know the health of the village, the health of the community is the children are doing well. The children are well, and to remember the elders and remember the children, and then also finding work to help the young men find work. We rebuilt the house. We employed everybody. We changed the economy there. And we have goats now. We farm yam. We went back to the agriculture. My husband is very, very much an Igbo man. Oh my goodness. He's a very proud Igbo man. And so we went back to the soil, and we want to talk about how to teach everyone how to farm the land. And we've been blessed. We've inherited many, many hectares of farmland, and so we let out different parcels to different people, and they are developing you know, the agricultural part of it. So teaching people how to feed themselves, this is the Igbo way. To also know that, you know, you can have goats, you can have chickens, you can have turkeys at your compound. And the beautification, one thing I realized that has fallen away is how you beautify your home. Everything shouldn't be utilitarian. And teaching women how to beautify their homes, not in a Eurocentric way, but in a true African centered context, where you have their ancestors on the wall. You have pictures and portraits of those who have gone before you, so that you remember these people. We have 5 generations of elders buried in that land. I mean, oh my goodness. This is, so when we talk about the language, we have to talk about the history and teach the history along with the language lesson. I think that would be good.
Thank you so much, especially for the last area you touched on, and it has been a huge point of controversy amongst Igbo people. The one irony I have seen is that unfortunately the Igbo people that are in Igbo land, a lot of us are raised as Christians for the past hundreds of years since colonialism came. People are being raised as Christians, and Christianity that was brought to us taught our ancestors to make away with everything and anything cultural
Yes.
that looks like you honor your ancestors. It is sinful. Even
Yes.
in the eyes of so many of us young people, it is still the same. But you find out that it is when you have the opportunity of interacting with other cultures, especially even the cultures of those that came to take away our own, you find out that they go at length in honoring their ancestors, beautifying them, 7th generation, 5th generation, up to as much as they can touch.
Yes.
Those they do. but they came and took away those from us. Now, I am so happy you touched on that aspect because it has been an issue also with me. Now, what I think one of the things we're going to do here is to educate ourselves how to balance these things, because sometimes we get misled even when we read the Bible that was introduced to us. For instance, before a person prays in Christianity, most of the times you call God of Abraham. Abraham, you don't know. You call
Yeah.
God of Jacob. Jacob, you do not know. Bloodline, you have nothing to do with these people. Nothing,
Nothing.
absolutely nothing. If they existed in this world, that was for their generation. The Bible was able to cast out how their own genealogy was made. And I usually and often tell our people, do you think God does not care about your own genealogy?
Right. Right.
Whoso, whosoever wrote the Bible showed you an example of what one of the things we should be doing in life, honoring our ancestors by knowing who they are and retaining, sustaining, preserving their names and their acts. That is why you were able to trace the birth of Jesus from Adam. That is why you have a portion of the Bible that says Chronicles. In Igbo, we say it is ihe mere n'ụbọchị ndị eze, documentation of what happened in the times of the kings. And all of these points going down to ihe mere n'ụbọchị ndị ikpe, those the judges, and all, this is a chronological documentation of the history and ancestry of the Israelites.
Yes.
But we were made to adopt it and accept it as our own, and nobody thinks about their ancestors. You die and go. It is, in my opinion, very terribly wrong, even in the eyes of God, that we do not make our time to honor by what you say, beautifying our walls and all of those things. If you do it to an extent, people will begin to look at you as anyway. But I'm
Well,
glad.
one thing we did, let me just interject. So
Go
we
ahead.
bought a very fine, fine German Shepherd dog. And you know what the dog's name is? Ekwinsu. And Egwinsu is an Igbo god of justice. But if you Google him, the white man wants to tell you that it's the devil, and it's not true. So in our
Right.
everyday life, we implement historical facts into what we even call our dog is Ekwinsu, and so we he's going to be formidable. He's 8 months now, but he's growing very strong.
Oh,
And so
he's still new.
yeah, he's guarding the compound, and his playmates are the goats. But he's a fine dog, Ekwinsu. So we have to bring back these.
What was the reaction of the family people or community people knowing that the dog is named Ekwensu?
At first, my sisters-in-laws were a bit taken aback. They were like, "Why would you name the dog the enemy?" And so we had to educate them about what Ekwinsu is, and
In the
of course,
Igbo worldview.
Igbo tradition. Yeah, exactly. And the spirituality of what Ekwinsu really is. And so you have to change the narrative. You have to change the narrative, and it begins with education. Like everybody has to read when things fall apart. And certain books in Igbo about Igbo culture should be, part of the curriculum of any language class. That there should be a bibliography of books that are true to form and true historical books of factual of the Igbo culture, not something that's kind of pulled together in conjecture, but is fact-based. So these are the type of books that we have to include in the language class.
Exactly. And I have made that decision today. My team and I had a conversation. We usually have a briefing every Monday, and following before the class happens. We looked into that partly, and while that conversation was going on, I made a decision to not concentrate only on grammar the 4 weeks of the month, so that I can be touching so I'm going to make a schedule with my team, the different topics I'm going to be drawing up from, Also, thank God I'm writing down your points, and I'm going to be writing down all the conversations coming up from other people. So that will inform me on the topics we're going to be doing the next several weeks. And so I will be touching on culture, history, spirituality, customs, all those things, and then grammar. And so to create that balance for every learner of the language, because I came with a passion that I wanted to like close my eyes and every Igbo native Igbo speaker learns how to write Igbo. But I see that it goes beyond just knowing how to write. People are on different levels of knowledge with the language, and I need to relate with that and make sure that I carry these different interests along. And especially knowing that there are hundreds of people who join my class who are like you, who are from outside and affiliated with Igbo by marriage and have the passion to be part of Igbo. And the beautiful thing about it is that so many of our, African American brothers and sisters, Jamaicans, Dominicans, if and when they go do their DNA, a lot of them turn back to become Igbo, whatever percentage that is. There is that Igbo blood in so many, and that also makes you already primarily part of the community even before marriage happened or something. So it is a wonderful thing to know, and I'm so glad to hear your story today. Happy Phoenix Adeze. You are so welcome to Igbo community. All right. Thank you so much. And does anybody have anything to chime in? I have Nkechinyere here. While Adeze is on. Nkechinyere, you've been writing in Igbo. Ọ pụtara na ị na-aghọta Igbo. You understand Igbo. I see you've been writing, but unfortunately, every sentence you have written in Igbo is incorrect. It's wrongly written, and that is a part of it that really gives me chills. I know you might be at a very low level of your, learning, but go ahead and continue. Let's hear your story. Kina, you're welcome as well.
Ndewo.
Ewo.
Yeah, well, I know my Igbo, but the level that I am, I say like maybe like 60%. My grandma's the one that taught me how to speak Igbo. And at certain times, I feel like I fill in certain words with other words in English or words that don't really like match. Like if I want to say that I can speak Igbo well, I might say, Anamasu is Igbo. But the right way to say that is Anamasu Igbo Ofuma. It's
Ofuma.
just things like that. Like I have trouble filling in sometimes because I'm the only one besides my siblings that can speak Igbo. So it's really just me and my parents. Yeah.
Why is that in Kenya? Why is that?
Well, honestly, I think my parents said they didn't really show interest, but my grandma is the only one that really like got on my back about learning how to speak Igbo because she wanted to preserve the language. Because even most of my cousins that live in the diaspora here in America, like they can't really speak Igbo, and like I guess it's a problem. It definitely is a problem. I wish they knew, but even me, like I noticed that my Igbo is also getting a little worse. Not on the way from people who can constantly speak Igbo. So I try to make effort to speak or even listen to it anytime I get. Yeah, that's basically it.
That's a beautiful one, Kichinya, and it's good to hear your story. So, from what you said, I got to go na is either na amụrụ in America or in America currently. You've spent years in America. Which one is your story?
I'm Romede.
Good. Amụrụ in America. And please give a round of applause to Kichinya, everybody. It is a very, very awesome thing that she has done to be able to get to the point of we can say she speaks Igbo and understands to a large extent, and that is also because she had an interaction with grandma at some point in time, or maybe she's still having that. But then I am curious about her siblings. Why isn't Kechinyere picking up a vibe that the siblings are not picking? If you go a little bit spiritual, is it possible could she be the one called to preserve the Igbo culture, Igbo custom in her family, to preserve the Igbo lineage in her family, I mean, is possible, or could it be that is an occasion of interest? Yes, I mean, Kechinyere, why did you have interest in Igbo in the first place?
I would say that I really like the culture. Like, I just love my culture. Like, I'm a Igbo and diaspora. Like, it just makes me happy to see people still dressing up, still dancing out, getting as small, still tearing steps. So that's why I was just really interested. Like, I like to be involved in my culture, of course.
Kechinyere, do you know your accent, your Igbo accent does not even suggest that you were born overseas, especially in America. That is even amazing. All right. So the question is, did you spend some years back home in Igbo land?
Every December, I in Nigeria for like Christmas. So, like every other year, I believe. That's why I think it's kind of there. But then on Nigeria, they tell me that my accent sounds like American accent. So honestly, I'm
I've already earned
confused.
50 tails from my stall.
Yes, but I mean, from what you are doing here now, Kitchen, sincerely, I think you are doing great. You are doing great. All right, Happy Phoenix, thanks for sharing that. Everybody can click on Happy Phoenix project in Igbo land. People like Happy Phoenix and Kechinyere are a bundle of inspiration for me. And if you are in this class, you are a young Igbo person who is struggling to learn Igbo. Look at these people as an example for you, a challenge, not just an example, a challenge. Number one, Happy Phoenix is married to Igbo, and she has a vested interest in the language, culture, and everything. And then Kechinyere is also an Igbo born, but in America, and she has an accent that is close to a native speaker's accent in my knowledge, and it is not an easy thing. It's not something that she achieved just yesterday and all of that. Right. Okay. So in Kechinyere, I might place your need on the need to learn how to write. Is that correct? In addition to strong making your Igbo become stronger. Is that a correct description of your need?
I would say that's a very correct assessment. But I also do notice that I need to learn more greetings because now when I entered the live, I said Ndewu, but if I was at my house, I probably would have been like no. So I just need to learn the difference between different greetings that I give to elders and greetings that I give to people who are like my age mates. That's it.
Are you originally Anambra?
No, I'm on your emo state.
Yeah, because your accent is your dialect is Imo. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So being Imo, you don't have much of a problem if it is just Ndewo or no. You hear more of Ndewo, Ndewo Ezechinonso, Dalo. So you hear more of Ndewo from Imo State, okay, Abia State, and all these other places. But you hear more of Dalo no from Anambra. The beautiful thing about it is that the standard Igbo has assimilated these greetings. So it's either you say Ndewo or Dalo, it's the same. It's either you say no or Ilola, they are the same, and so these are basic greetings that are in the front, which means you can learn all of them and speak all of them as part of the Igbo, performance as you are making. So yeah, do not have problem with that. Then as per speaking, and then the efforts, because you have observed that your Igbo is not as strong as it used to be. What efforts are you making currently, or what effort do you think you can make? I don't know how many times you've been to the class.
This is like my second or third time into the class. I definitely think that I understand, like the way that I understand Igbo is definitely hearing other people speak it. Like I notice when I listen to songs like from like Paul Wakocha or Ada Zion, like I have a better time understanding some of like the gospel words that are used and just things like that. So I think definitely just being more exposed to different kinds of Igbo, maybe from people who I haven't heard say it before, that I start to pick up things that I miss and fill in the gaps.
So being more exposed is the right thing to really desire to have, and being in classes like this, I believe is one way to go. And I was telling Happy Phoenix to about the Telegram group we created. Have you joined that Telegram group, Nkechinyere?
I don't know. I don't know now Akukwa Ubu. So when I get home, I'll try to join.
Nekedo ụlọ akwụkwọ ị na-agụ?
I know na college. Ebe UC.
In Abali or Ndewo Jisike. All right, so we have created these platforms, and I believe, I don't know, since this is your second time in class, if you do not have Omenka app, it's also a resource that can help you. Amara m na enwere ọtụtụ ndị na-akụzi ihe na social media, YouTube and all that. All right, go ahead, Happy Venice. Dịka m na-ekwukarị na class ebe a, so I do say that ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ na-akụzi ihe na social media, if it is about writing, there's a problem with that. I cannot recommend anyone for you until I know that source. But if about teaching basic colloquial Igbo, a lot of people are doing well in doing that, in teaching Igbo, especially when the intentions are right, when the intentions are not about making money. There are lots of Igbo sons and daughters who are creating content that are helpful. But then what we're doing here is targeted at helping you to grow in learning Igbo. You see, that's why we're dedicating this conversation today to attending to our needs. So Kechinyere, I'm a neighbor nwa akwụkwọ, biko gbaa mbọ wepụta ohere. I do say it in class here. There's no way you can learn Igbo adequately as an adult learner, even though you are Igbo born or whatever, without being religious about it. You know, if you are religious, if you are a person who engages in religious activities, Christianity mostly, because most of us are Christians also, you find out that there are things that is demanded of you. There are things that are demanded of you, that are required of you to do again and again. For instance, when you will be asked to read this word and recite it and memorize it, is a requirement. Do you know why? That is a strategy. Christianity uses a strategy that captures your mind, body, and soul. We grew up going to church Monday to Sunday, Sunday to Monday. The reason is because they want you to stay closer to those religious activities until your entire life becomes it. Until you cannot think of anything else but church and that religion. And that is a strategy. It's a positive strategy. It works very well with religion. And that is one that you should apply to any other situation, especially learning a language as an adult. Having experienced that, knowing that we grew up being raised in Christian tenets, being raised in all of these teachings, many of which are not even just biblical but churchy, and that is being done to get you hooked up, plugged in a positive way, so that you don't have time for things that are not related to that. That's the way to learn Igbo. And I encourage you to do that while you are at work, while you are in school, Nkechinyere. You find something Igbo, and let me use the word Igbotic. Find something Igbotic and learn. All right, and please do not stay away from this class if you can, except whereby there's nothing else you can do. And I bet you and Happy Phoenix, you are a source of inspiration for us right now, hearing your story, and I'm so glad that you were here today. All right, thank you so very much. All right, I expect more people to come up and either to cheer up Happy Phoenix and Nkechinyere and join in their stories. Wanda Sally, I think I brought you up a couple of times. You dropped, maybe his network. All right, Kena, amam na agama ghọta na aha gị nwere ike ịbụ nke Ikenna, ọkwa ya? Ndewo.
Ndewo maka ibulite m n'elu. M na-ekenekwa ndị kwuru okwu tupu m ekwu ofe kwuru ọfụma. Onye mbụ bụ onye na-anụ onye Igbo. onye nke Igbo bụ onye amụ na Amerịka ma ọ nọgolo Amerịka oge tere aka. So fa kwuru ọfụma a na-asị ha jisie ike maka ife nọ n'asụsụ adịrọ mfe mana ihe na-agbanye nke bụ eziokwu dịka otu si kwuo bụ na asụsụ Igbo dịka ọ na-anachi ya azụ. So ya bụ na ndị dịka gị na-agba mbọ ife otu a ga-esi kwalite asụsụ Igbo bụ ife dị mma. Maka ịbịa n'anya ịfụ na iwere ife ederede n'Igbo nye mmadụ ka ọ gụọ n'ụdị kịta ịfụ na ọ ya afịara onye ahụ egote ya ọfụma. Many people ọ ya afịa ha arụ iwere ihe bụ otu ibeji akwụkwọ ede n'Igbo. Ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ ga-afịa ha nnukwu arụ ịgụpụta ya iji gosi gị na asụsụ Igbo na-anachi ya azụ. Ana ọbịa dịka ndị ọzọ akarịa anyị mma ife dịka ndị Yoruba ka anyị mma na ịsụ asụsụ fa na ịkwado asụsụ fa. So na ọ dị mma anyị nwere ọ bụ ihe dịla anyị ịgba mbọ fụ na ndị ọzọ na-abịa na ụmụaka ndị nọkịta na anyị nyerefe aka kwado ha ka ha wee mara otu esi asụ na otu esi aghọta asụsụ Igbo. Maka ọ bụrụ na nwere ife anyị na-eme chaa iji wee kwado asụsụ Igbo ma na asụsụ Igbo ga na-ana and ọ bụrụ ezigbo ife. So ife ọzọ m chọrọ ikwu tupu mgbe kwụsị bụ na ọ bụrụ na ị nwekwa ike na mgbasa ozi gị oge ụfọdụ kwa itinyetụkwa egwu Igbo tinyekwa egwu Igbo ọ ga-amakwa mma. Egwu Igbo ndị a na-asụ Igbo na-ejigasị Igbo akụzi ife dịka ndị otu na-echeta afọ onye nke anwụla anwụ celebrate ndị mmadụ tochara
Mike Ejeagha.
Yes, Mike Ejeagha, Mike Ejeagha ọ ya amakwa mma. So ife ị na-eme amaka dịsi ike.
Ndewo. So aha gị gwa ya aha gị.
Afọ Igbo m bụ Ifeanyị.
Okay, Kinaolu, just a guy name.
Mma sị na oge anyị nọ na be anyị maka eto m na be anyị. So anyị amarọ na anyị nwee kwa privilege ka nna achọ ka mmadụ ife mma akpụ ya n'Igbo efugo ife anyị na-ekwu maka ya. So anyị amarọ na nọ ife dị mma na ife people na-achọ na ịmụta otu esi asụ Igbo na otu esi ede na otu esi agụ ife ndị edegara ede n'Igbo. So mana a na-ekene Chukwu na amụtara ya. Na otu kwubuo na mbụ ọ ife dị mkpa na anyị nwa mmụọ otu esi asụ ga-enyere aka iji wee kwado asụsụ Igbo fụ na ndị ọzọ na anyị na-enyerụkwa ndị ọzọ aka.
Ndewo Ifeanyị ugbu a ị nọ Nigeria?
Na Canada.
Okay. Ị nwere ụmụ?
Mma nche ikwu so much maka nke ahụ.
Nsogbu adị. Okay. Ndewo Ifeanyị, Maazị Ifeanyị, anyị na m ekele gị. Ọ dị m ụtọ na ị batara jiri Igbo nwee mkpebi iji Igbo ekwu ihe niile ị chọrọ ikwu. Amaghị m etu, I don't know how much my sister Happy Phoenix understood you, but I think she will be happy that she saw someone, here who spoke Igbo all through, irrespective of the fact whether she understood well or not. Ọ na-atọ m ụtọ ịhụ ụmụ nwoke na ụmụ nwanyị ụmụ afọ Igbo ndị na-apụta na social media kwuo Igbo. Ya karịchasị ya bụ na ị nọ na Canada, unu mana ụkwụ na anyị niile n'ije, ọtụtụ anyị nọ ofesi ala bekee. Mgbalị anyị na-akarị nke ndị nọ n'ụlọ. Ana m ekele gị ebe ohere nne. Ọ bụrụ na ị nwere ụmụ, biko gbaa mbọ mee ka ọrụ a hapụ ịkwụsị, mee ka mgbalị a na mbọ ị na-agba hapụ ịkwụsị, ka ị nwee ike inye ha ihe mụtara, ihe ị maara bụ ihe dị mkpa na ime ka Igbo nwee ike ị na-aga n'ihu. Anyị chọrọ ndị dịka gị na klaasị a, ruokwe na the Telegram group nke anyị tinyere. Biko, ihe anyị na-eme ebe ahụ hiri nne, ihe anyị ga-achọ ime ebe ahụ hiri nne. Ebidobe ịkpa nkata, anyị ebidobe ọrụ, mana anyị ga-ebido ọrụ mgbe na-adịghị anya. Ana m arịọ onye ọbụla ka ha gbaa mbọ sonye, n'ihi na anyị chọrọ amamihe gị, anyị chọrọ ụbụrụ isi gị iji mee ka ihe anyị na-eme dị mma. Alright. So ihe m ga-achọ ikwuru gị tupu m kwụsị, ana m atụ anya ndị ọzọ ịbata n'elu nkwago ebe a ịbịa ikwuru anyị okwu, bụ na ịhụla ka ụmụnne anyị nwaanyị abụọ ndị kwuru okwu bụ ndị ebe ha bi, ha ka asụ Igbo. Ofu a na-alụ ya n'Igbo, ofu amụrụ ya na ofesi, mana mbọ ha na-agba ịmụta Igbo bụ nke hiri nne. Ndị dị otu anyị kwesịrị na-akwado ha nke ọma. Ha na-abịakwa n'ọmụmụ ihe nke anyị na-eme, nkụzi anyị na-eme kwa izu. Ya bụ na ọ bụ ihe gbara ọkpụrụ, bụ ihe dị mma ka anyị nwee ike kwado ndị dị otu ahụ. Ndewo nwanne m nwoke Kena Ifeanyị, rather, ka Chukwu gọzie gị, gọzikwa gị maka onyinye afọ ọma nke ị na-enye kamgbe ị batara, na-enwe mkparịta ụka, na-enyekwa anyị onyinye, na-emetụrụ anyị aka n'akara ịhụnanya. And I want to welcome everybody, those that have joined us while we were having the conversation. Please, if you're just joining, today we are using it for our conversation, to look inwards, to find out what your problem is, what my problem is with my journey in learning Igbo language. So if you have something to share with us, kindly come up on stage here and send me an invite. I'm going to accept that and bring you up. Please send me a request, sir, rather, not an invite. And then I'm going to accept your request and bring you up. I also am expecting more of people that are more knowledgeable in Igbo. If you have an advice, if you have something to share with those who are learning, and please, and let us do that. Anaghị m akụzi ihe taa bụ ụbọchị mkparịta ụka. Ọ ga-amasị m ka anyị niile nwee mmasị isonye na mkparịta ụka. Amaghị m ejụrụ m ajụjụ a n'izu gara aga. Somebody asked that question and I informed us in the class that yes, today was going to be a conversation. So, excuse me, I expected a lot of people joining the conversation. Oh, thank God. Kelere Chineke ni ịbatara taa. So, ịhụgo na ka mkparịta ụka anyị si eme, ka abụọ ọnwa atọ anyị megoro ụdị mkparịta ụka. We've given opportunity for people to really open up and share things. And so, mgbe m bidoro, akọrọ m ya anyị akụkọ ihe gbasara omenala Igbo. And I also would like us to open up our conversation in the area of culture. So if I don't know if you nwere ihe nwere ikwu n'ihe gbasara akụkọ nkọrọ anyị na omenala Igbo, ka o si adị, ka ụdị mmasị ị nwere ma ọ bụ ụdị nghọta ị nwere ihe gbasara omenala Igbo so far.
Ndewo. Ife m chọrọ ikwu tupu ntinye ọnụ na nke ahụ bụ na onye ọbụla chọọ ịmụta Igbo ọfụma, ịma na onye ọbụla na-asụ Igbo nwere ebe ọ nọ n'asụsụ Igbo. Ebe ị nọ n'asụsụ Igbo abụrụ ebe mụọ nọ. Onye ọbụla na-ege ntị ga-ama na Igbo gị yere eyere, ị na-asụ ezigbo Igbo. Ị nwere ike ịsụ Igbo na-etinye ya ele oyibo. so onye chọrọ ka ọ gbagote n'asụsụ Igbo, ịma na ihe nwere ike inyere onye ahụ aka bụ onye ahụ ịgbani na-asụ Igbo ya na ndị nọ ya nso a na-asụ Igbo. Maka mmadụ na-asụ Igbo oge ọbụla ọ na-amụta, ọ na-enyere aka. So ife onye a nwere ike ime bụ ọ bụrụ na ọ nwere ọ bụrụ na onye ahụ ife dịka na di ya ma na nwunye ya na-asụ, ha a na-agba mbọ na-asụ Igbo n'ụlọ maka a na-asụ ya na-amụta. Mmadụ nwekwara ike nwekwa ndị enyi ya na ya na-asụ Igbo, maka ihe nọ n'asụsụ. Ifu na ụfọdụ ndị be anyị nọcha n'ala Igbo sụchaa Igbo, sụọ ma na skuulu dede na sekọndịrị nke a na-agba sekọndịrị, mana ọ bụrụ na ha si ebe ahụ pụta na ha ada asụsụ nọlịsị ebe ọ bụ si English ka a na-asụ, gịnị ka na-eme? Ha na-echefusi Igbo anwụ. Ọ ga mee na ịfụ ọtụtụ ndị Igbo sefu tolite eto n'ala Igbo sụọ Igbo ma Igbo ọfụma, ọtụtụ n'ime ha hapụ ala Igbo pụọ, ha na-asụzi Igbo ha ga na-asụ ama na-adanyechazi otu o si adanye bifo, otu o si adanye bụ na mbụ. A na-asụzi, a na-etinyegasị asụsụ oyibo n'ebe a n'ebe a n'ebe a, onwezi osu oyi esi na-ada na ntị. So ọ bụkwanụ ọ bụ ife fịara arụ maka onye ọbụla, mana anyị ga na-agbanye na nke afọ. Ịbịa na ife nke gbasara omenala, that is culture, right? Gbasara omenala makwa mma, maka omenala bụ ife gbasara otu ndị si ebi ndụ na otu ndị si eme. Ihe menụ bụ na ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ, ndị nnefa na nna ha enweghị ohere ịkụziri ha maka omenala. So na ọtụtụ ndị ma ndị nọ na be anyị, ọtụtụ ndị bụ sọ nke ha fụtara n'anya na nke ha mụtara n'onwe ha. Mana ọ dị mma ife dịka na mgbasa ozi, ụdị mgbasa ozi gị bụkwa otu anyị nwere ike isi wee na-amụtagasị ife dịgasị iche iche. Ya na mmasịkwa na ihe ị na-eme na-amasị anyị, anyị na-ekele gị maka ife ị na-eme ebe. Ndewo.
Ya dịrị gị na mma, Maazị Ifeanyị, nwanne anyị nwoke onye bi na Canada, onye ọ masịrị na ọ ga-eji Igbo kwuoro ụmụnne ya okwu, ụmụafọ Igbo. Igbo bụ otu. Ndị Igbo na-asị, Igbo na-asụ n'olu n'olu, mana akwụ ụkwara ọ bụrụ otu, nke pụtara na Igbo bụ otu, mana Igbo ghọtara na enwere olundi mere ka ihe gbasara anyị bụrụ nke gbasara agbasa ma bụrụ nke jikọtakwara anyị ọnụ. Anyị niile bụ Igbo. Anyị na-akwado onye ọbụla si na ọ dị mkpa gbaa mbọ ka ịmụta ka esi asụ, mụtakwa ka esi ede. Ị bụrụ nwa afọ Igbo, wherever you are, wherever you were born, wherever you are growing up from, you do not have any excuse. Right now, I have featured Nkechinyere here, an Igbo born living in America. I have featured Happy Phoenix, our sister Adeze, and who is married to Igbo, and our brother now, Ifeanyi, who is in overseas as well. All of these people have shown us the interest they have, the passion they have for Igbo. What is your level of passion? Dịka Ifeanyi kwuru, kedu ụdị mmasị nwere, kedu ogo ọ nọ, kedu ogo mmasị ahụ, ọ na-ata gị, ọ na-egburisi gị ọkpụkpụ, ka ọ bụ nke emechaa ka m legodo Igbo anya. Nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ma ịsụrụ Igbo taa, ma ị jụrụ ịsụ ya, ị mụtara ka esi ede, ma ị jụrụ ịmụta, ihe eke ekere ụwa Chineke bi n'eluigwe kere gị ka ị bụrụ bụ gịnị onye Igbo. Ị gaghị anọkata wepụ onye Igbo ahụ n'ahụ gị. Ọ bụrụ na ị nwere mkpebi si na ị gaghị asụ Igbo, gị bụrụ onye nne maọbụ onye nna echi, taa ị bụ nwa okorobịa nwa ntorobịa, ruo echi gị bụrụ onye nna maọbụ onye nna, ị ga-ajụzi onwe gị kedu ihe m ga-enyefe ụmụ m n'aka sitere n'asụsụ m na omenala m. If you are a young person today and you chose not to learn and speak Igbo language because you were born overseas, because you grew up in Port Harcourt or you grew up in Hausa land or whatever, tomorrow you become a parent. The question that will stand before you, just like a judgment day, is what am I going to hand down to my children? What? What is Igbo in me that they are going to take? The other one is by the time you grow older, much older, you begin to feel the emptiness of not knowing your language and culture because you have spoken a foreign language. You have lived a foreign culture all through your life. That is it. Oseije Ndewo, the previous generation fed us. Yes, I agree with you. What are we doing now to not fail the next generation? What are we doing now to recover from that failure of the last generation? Ana m ebe a, ana m abara ndị ahụ na-akpọ ndị previous generation, ndị nna anyị na nna nna anyị ha mba, ha kpara agwa ọjọọ ọtụtụ n'ime ha, mana tụgharịa asambodo ahụ, tụgharịa ihu akwụkwọ ahụ, turn on the page of that their life experience and think about what they went through, where they are coming from, starting from our forefathers who experienced colonialism. Then go down to those who were born or who grew up during the post-colonial era. The immediate post-colonial era, everybody's mentality has already been twined, had already been destroyed. Everybody's being, everything is speaking about England, London, the Queen, how to become more England, more English, more Londonian, more Queen. Everybody wants to go and see the Queen. It was like going to heaven. That was how their brain worked. Everybody now wanted to wear suit, wanted to speak English. Almost everybody. Listen, read Chinua Achebe. There was a country. And things fall apart. And the rest of the books he read, you will find out that it took a lot for him to be one person who was able to grasp from education and Christian religion, as his father was a Catholic, but be able to understand the need for him not to throw away his culture. Especially in there was a country, he narrated this very well. His father, Chinua Achebe's father, was given to Christianity and the foreign religion that was introduced to them. Yeah, I see you, Adeze Phoenix. Thank you. But Chinua Achebe, when he was following after his father's footsteps in education, because he said his father loved education so much, he became educated. But he turned around when he became educated to ask himself, why would I drop my culture? Why would I drop my identity because of a foreign one? Even though he studied theology in addition to everything he studied, he made that decision. It is your personal decision that will save you from that failure. Ọ bụ mkpebi nke onwe gị, gị nwa ga-enwe mkpebi a, gị nwa mụ na-anụ olu m taa na-abịa klaasị a kwa izu. Whether you come here every Monday or you have run into this class today or you've been here twice, it is your personal decision. Thank you, Useku Foods. So when you are now an adult, the failure of the last generation is almost immaterial, even though we cannot stop talking about it. So as I cast judgment on the last generation, how they failed in, especially the current generation of our parents who are still alive. Till today, so many parents still desire that their children speak English, only if possible. So many do not care if their children spoke only English at all. Ọtụtụ ọgbasai ha ruo na ọtụtụ achọghịdị ka ụmụ ha sụọ Igbo. N'ihi gịnị? Ọtụtụ ụfọdụ ndị m na-ekwurula okwu bụ ndị nne na nna bụ ndị kwenyere na ọ bụrụ na nwa ha na-asụ Igbo, o nwere ike ọ ga-eme ya ka ọ hapụ ịmụta Bekee. Asụsụ Oyibo ọ ga-eji enweta ọrụ oyibo. You find out that we are in a very, very despicable situation. And this is what I am calling on all of you to join hands and let's change for us and for the next generation. Ndewo Nkechi nyere nwanne m nwanyị. Dalo, oh, it was nice having you in the class today. Biko gbakwa mbọ ka ịmụta ihe n'ụlọ akwụkwọ gị. Oh,
enwere m ike itinye ọnụ hụ
gaa n'ihu Ifeanyi ebe gị nwa aka nọrọ ebe a. Biko, those that are here, try to come up, make a request and come and share your journey, your problem with Igbo language. Please, even if you, I mean, it's only a few people that have been here. So if you want to come back and let us have a conversation. Go ahead, Ifeanyi.
so dịka otu m si yọọ na mbụ inwe ike imetụ ịgatụ ezumike ife dịka obere oge tinye egwu Igbo malụ mma, so ọ ga-ama mma, ọ ya emekwa ife a na-emekwa a na-atọkwa ụtọ. Enwekwala ikele dịka anyị na-ekwu maka asụsụ Igbo na ide Igbo edemede enwe na Igbo edemede, ọkachasị edemede ndị mmadụ ma maka ya ọfụma. Enwekwa ike nke a na-akpọ na English like book review bụkwa ife ọzọ malụ mma, maka ọ nwegasị ihe ọgụgụ ndị mmadụ gụgasị na ụfọdụ ntakịrị praịmarị maọbụ na sekọndịrị. Ife edegasịrị ede nke a na-akpọ novel ndị malụ mma people gụchalụ. So especially ndị anwụ ndị mmadụ ma maka ya ọfụma. So na-enwekwala ike ime ife a na-akpọkwa review, na-enye anya na ebe ndị kacha mma na akwụkwọ ndị ahụ. So ọ ihe gbata m n'uche nsị ka m tinye ọnụ na
Ndewo Ifeanyi. Uche gị dị n'ihe a na-eme. Daalụ. Oh, you're welcome. Coco Chic, how are you? Yes, ihe ịrụtụrụ aka bụ otu n'ime ihe mmalitegoro ime. Ya bụ na ihe dị iche na ya bụ na ị na ntụpụta izu gị bụ nke gbasara nkụzi anyị na-eme ebe a. Ihe m na-akwadobu ime bụ ị na-emepụta onyonyo vidiyo nke na-emetụta aka m ga-eme ya na ihe gbasara ilegharị anya na akwụkwọ ederede. Oge gara aga na nso a, lekwa akwụkwọ ole ha gotere m. Agotere m akwụkwọ ndị a eweta ya site na Nigeria. Mgbe m nwetara akwụkwọ ndị a, ihe a bụ akwụkwọ ọgụgụ nke Iduazi bụ novel, ejije bụ drama, poetry bụ abụ. Ihe a bụ akwụkwọ ndị gbadoro ụkwụ na ụdị edemede atọ ndị a. These are all books touching this literary genre. And all of these books are for those who are in school and learning Igbo as well. I know you do not know, some of you, that so many of your secondary schools back home, your village, no longer teach Igbo. And that is a topic for another day. Igbo is not taught in so many of the schools in your village today. Okay? Right. Marcel Okonkwo, but is it Marcela Okonkwo? Dalo? So, dịka ihe nwanne anyị nwoke Ifeanyi rụtụrụ aka, yes, I have started a video on these books, but these books that I have here comprise the past books that were read for WAEC purposes, for academic purposes, and the current ones that I'm reading, they're all here. So I have it in mind to incorporate them in the videos that I produce, but I never thought of bringing them to the class. But yes, if that is something that would help us here, I would do that. Ndewo Ifeanyi maka ntụpụta izu nke ahụ, uche nke ahụ batara gị. Ya ụkwara oge ya ọda nọ ebe a, ụkwara oge ya ọda so ya. Mana ihe gbasara odide Igbo bụ nke na-enye m ezigbote nsogbu, dịka m kwuru na mbụ. Ọ dị m ka na mmechi anya meghee ya ka ụmụafọ Igbo niile mụta ka esi ede Igbo. And for what is worth, ọ bụrụ na ime asụ ịmaghị ede, ị ga-agbarịrị mbọ. Echela na o zuorela gị, ị ga-agbasarịrị mbọ mụta ka esi ede. Ya nwa m ji ihe niile m kụzirila ewezuga na nso nso a, ọtụtụ ihe m kụzirila ebe a mgbe ọbụla ọ na-arụtụ aka na idezi Igbo ọfụma. Nke ọzọ wee bụrụ na ọ dịghị ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ na-akụzi Igbo ndị na-arụtụ aka, ndị na-agbakwasị ụkwụ na nkụzi ka esi ede. Ama m na otu n'ime ihe nwere ike ịkpata ya bụ na ka esi ede bụ ọ bụghị agwa eji akpụ ka mma egbu, ọ bụghị ihe ị ga-ekwu okwu ya na-abụghị na ị maara na ị gbara ezigbote mgbọrọgwụ na Igbo. Okay, if you know how to teach, if you can teach how to write Igbo, that means you are good at Igbo. Okay. Coco Chick, I would like you to send me a request here. I bring you up, and so that we have a conversation. You share your story, and we learn from you, because that's what we're doing today. The answer to your question is yes, and we have had a couple of people who came up here to share their stories. They are both adults who are learning Igbo. At the levels they are, determines their own experience. So what is your problem with Igbo? What is your own experience? That's what we are featuring here today. If it's okay for you, if you are not at work or something, you can send a request and I will accept that, and you come to share your story with us. All right. Okay. So going by the topics that we have been teaching and the topics that I intend to teach in the future, I would like us to contribute towards that as well. What are the areas that resonate to you or that you think you have need of? Do you have need of knowing how to write? Do you have need of understanding Igbo grammar? Is it tone marking? Is it Igbo culture? Is it about customs? Is it about dialects of the Igbo? Kedu ihe na-enye gị enyetụ mmụọ gị nsogbu ka ịmụta n'Igbo ya hụ na ọ na-esiri gị ike? Kedu ihe ndị na-esiri gị ike na ịmụta n'Igbo? I know that writing is like everybody's problem, and I would expect that should come. Now, ihe ọzọ bụ kedu ụzọ iji na-agba mbọ? Kedu ụzọ iji goro gbaa mbọ ka ị wee mụta Igbo ya hụ na ị ka nwere nsogbu? Kedu ụzọ ị na-eji agba mbọ? Kedu mgbalị ị na-enwe mana mgbalị ahụ enwebeghị isi? Ya nwa bụ ajụjụ anyị. Osage, speaking and putting together complete sentences seamlessly. All right, that is called fluency. If you are overseas or outside of Igbo land, mixing up or with people who speak more English than Igbo, fluency might become a problem. Right, Osage, if it's okay by you, if you have a chance, you can come up and share with us your story. That will help in getting us a better understanding of what you are going through. And the other thing I have said maybe before you came in is there's a Telegram group we have created for continued conversation and attending to our needs outside of the class, that link is on our bio on TikTok. Please use it to join. That will be helpful to you.
Ka m tinyetụkwa ọnụ ọzọ,
Gaa n'ihu.
a na-asị na onye ọbụla enwere ife nwere ike ịmụta n'aka onye ọbụla. Ofu ife a ga-amụta n'aka ndị Yoruba bụ na Yoruba ejiri asụsụ fa egwu egwu. O nwekwara ihe ha na-eme, ndị Yoruba na-eme. Ndị Yoruba na-asụ asụsụ fa ọfụma n'ụlọ. Ọ bụrụ otu asụsụ ha na-asụ. Ihe ọzọ ha na-emekwa bụ na ndị enyi ha na ụmụ nwanne ha na-asụkọrịta asụsụ ha. Ya mere na ha na-asụ asụsụ ha, ịfụ na ọ naghị adị use in quote, adulterated, ada akụ ya mmiri, ada akụ asụsụ ha mmiri otu esi akụ nke anyị mmiri. Nke anyị mmiri a na-asụ nke anyị, ịfụ ọ dịka na-asụli oyibo karịa Igbo nwa na-asụ asụ. So ihe anyị ga-etinye anya malụ otu a ga-esi mee ya, ka ọ yala ebe mmadụ na-asụ Igbo na ị na-asụ Igbo, mana itinye ya na otu esi etinye n'ọnụ oyibo na pasentịji, ọ bụrụ na asụsụ oyibo a na-asụ bụ 70%, Igbo awoluzie 30%, ịfụ na ọ daba.
Eziokwu ka ọ bụ. Ya nwa mere anyị ji na-achọ ka anyị kewapụta ụdị mkparịta ụka dị iche iche ga-enyere onye ọbụla aka n'ogo ọ nọ n'ime ya, n'ihi na ndị nọ n'ogo na ha na-asụ ya na ha na-agbakwunye bekee, ha amaghị mgbe ha si eme ya ọ ji eme ya n'ọnọdụ na bekee bịara karịzie Igbo, mana Igbo ka a chọrọ ịsụ ọ karịrị akarị. Anyị niile nwere ike, anyị nwere ụzọ anyị si na-adị iwu n'ebe dị ụta, mana ndị bụ na ha anaghị aghọta nọ ya. Ọtụtụ ezinụlọ ndị nọ na ofesi, ndị nọ n'ala bekee, ịjụọ ha maka ụmụ ha, ụmụ gị kwana ha na-asụkwa Igbo? Ha na-aghọta mana ha anaghị asụ. Ihe a ka ndị bekee na-akpọ cliché. This is a cliché, this is a slogan today amongst people living overseas. Even those living in Nigeria that are raising their children outside of Igbo land, ha na-aghọta mana ha anaghị asụ. Okay, that is almost like nonsense for me. So ọ bụrụ na gị nwa nọ n'ọnọdụ na ị na-achọ ịsụ Igbo, ị gaghị ama mgbe iji banye n'Ingli Igbo, o wee bụrụ na English ị na-asụ bịara karịzie bekee Igbo nwee na-achọ ịsụ, enweghịzi n'isi ihe dị isi adịghịzi. Mana ihe a bụ ihe anyị niile n'otu n'otu ga-eleba anya n'ogo ịgba mbọ inwe mgbalị nke onwe. It is a self-determination. It is a personal determination and decision that will take you there. Whether you are at the level of trying to deal with reducing the English that you interject when you are speaking, when we are looking at code switching and code mixing. It is good to code switch or code mix, especially because we're all bilinguals, and do not take it out of context. We are not in any way projecting that Igbo people should not speak English. No. For what is worth, it is better to be bilingual than to be monolingual. For the sake that English was already introduced to us the way it did, irrespective of the fact that we do not like it, we are still bilingual. But thank you, Coco Chick and Ndewo Maziani. Ebo si enye anyị nsogbu anyị nwa na-akụzi akụzi bụ na ebe anyị ga-ahapụ Igbo wee sụwazie naanị bekee. Ọ na-awụ m akpata oyi, it gives me chills if I come into a meeting run by Igbo people online. Look at everybody from the first to the last, from the least to the biggest or so. They are all Igbo, adult men and women, but they're all speaking English. I hardly derive joy being in such a meeting. If I'm not constrained, I will raise my hand and ask them questions that will get everybody angry. Maybe because of my training, maybe because of the work I do today. But then I also do it because I believe I am one person called to do what I'm doing, amongst others. So you find out that these are not just very young people. These are men in their 50s, 60s, 70s conducting meetings online. They are speaking Igbo. They are speaking English. As if Zoom or whatever platform they're using does not understand Igbo. Ka ikpagharịa na-agwa ụmụafọ Igbo. Ka ikpagharịa na-agwa Igbo na-asị ka iwepụ aka enwe n'ofe ka ọ hapụ ịghọrọ aka mmadụ. Ọ bụ ilu. Izu ụka abụọ gara aga na izu gara aga ya akụzigo ilu Igbo ebe a ugboro 3. Ka iwepụ na aka enwe n'ofe. Ị maara ilu Igbo taa dịka nwa afọ Igbo? Do you know? What do you know at all about ilu Igbo, about Igbo proverbs? What do you know? As a learner, do you have passion for that, irrespective of the level you are in learning Igbo? All right, Coco Chick, you are welcome. Let's hear your story.
Thank you. So in reaching out and trying to find out my culture, I did some ancestry DNA and went back, found out that I do have connections to Igbo. And currently I am starting a family with an Igbo man. I have a young daughter, and we're both trying to embrace the language and the culture. But I have no idea where to start. Our tongues don't speak the same. So me and my young daughter, we're both bilingual. So we speak English and Spanish. Spanish came fairly natural, but it seems we struggle with when it comes to Igbo language. So that's where we are with it.
What is your Igbo name, Coco Chick?
He's given me like 3, but we haven't settled on one. He said when we visit the village, we'll actually get one. So,
all right. Just so you know, it is not out of place for you to even have 3 names.
Okay.
So when you also get to the village, different family people might also give you different names. That is real. But first of all, I clap for you when you introduce yourself. Welcome to the community. One of the most important communities in this world today is Igbo community. Welcome to the people where you are, where you have a natural affiliation with one of the most ancient people on earth are the Igbo people. And then our conversation across the globe is one of the most important conversations that are also going on today in life because of our different experiences, the way life, community, society has treated Igbo people and the position we occupy in terms of contributing to the different society buildings in the place we are. I am happy to welcome you, and I don't know how many times you've been to this class, Coco Chick.
I just get lost when you're speaking, so it's hard to keep up.
Your audio didn't help out. We didn't hear you. We hardly heard you.
Sorry, can you hear me better now? So this is my 3rd time being here.
Oh, okay. So it's great to have you around. So right now, your own need is very special, and we are very willing to attend to your need on a personal. I don't know if you have joined the Telegram group. It's important for you to join. Have you? Are you using a headphone or earpiece?
I was actually just using my charger. Can you hear me better now?
It's better. Great now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So did you join the Telegram group yet?
No, sir, I haven't joined that Telegram group yet.
Okay, do whenever you can, okay?
Okay, I will.
And do you have Omenka app on your phone now?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. Also, as soon as you can, kindly download the app so that it will give you one of the resources that you need for a basic learning. Now, I do want to state to you that it is difficult for family members to teach you, especially when it comes to you being an adult learner of a language or culture or lifestyle. It is difficult. I'm glad you also did your DNA and you have some significant percentage of Igbo, which is a lot for you. So you find out that, yeah, we're having this conversation today because of what happened to Africa, when Europe invaded us and took away almost everything. But the most important thing is taking away our person, what we are, what God made us to be, our heritages. They took them away and used them to build their own heritages, and they are doing everything in life today to preserve their heritage, and then still doing everything possible to ensure that we do not even recognize or identify our own heritage, cultural heritage. And that's a propaganda, and so yeah. So first of all, I would start by the two assignments that you have. The third one is coming to class. Thank God you've been here, a couple of times. The third time now. The topics, if you met us when I was there with them, Happy Phoenix, we have made a decision to go by a variety of topics, not only just pure academic grammar, but the other topics that would, like when Happy Phoenix was speaking, I wrote down a number of things. She had a need of basic communication in the market. This is one of the things we might look at. I have assigned some of my team members to develop those basic conversations and put them up on the Telegram group. And I must shock you, severally, I do mention one of Omenka app and Indigenous Hands and Voices volunteers. We call Adeze. Ndewo Ifeanyi Nam, ndewo imela. Dalo maka uche nke ibunyere anyị. All right. Dunya Zivic is from Serbia and speaks Serbian language as well. But this lady, who is now married to Igbo, has developed a wonderful love for Igbo language and is volunteering with us. Currently, she's working on a storybook that is basic to Igbo alphabets. That is one of the things we in Omenka app have created a platform for. And one of the things, like, I would encourage you is to create a challenge for yourself in addition to the resources that you get from this class. Yes, a Serbian. She is on her second book as I'm talking with you. One was basically on the alphabets. The other one, she's now researching on Igbo music instruments and, doing an amazing work on those. So it is important for us all to know that at whatever level you are in learning Igbo language, there's somebody who is a challenge to you. There's somebody who is an inspiration to you. There's somebody who is there to encourage you. And that's why we're creating this platform. And before you came on board, I talked about religiously, the word religiously. First, you have to start by making it a point of duty in your mind, Coco Chick, to learn Igbo religiously. It is by immersion or indoctrination. You have to carry all of those. whatever English word it means doesn't even matter so much, even though I had to say that. That's the way you're going to learn. You will make it a point of duty that if possible every day you're going to use a resource to learn additional Igbo conversation, Igbo words. So in terms of the words and basic stories, Omenka app can, come in there. And by the time Adeze's storybooks, get published, they are also going to find their way in Omenka app. And these are resources that are well designed and scrutinized, and that we're going to be putting out there. Okay. All right. Happy Phoenix, my sister. Thank you for spending time with us, sharing your story, sharing the link you shared. I believe some of us have clicked on that link. Please send it to my DM, okay? Send that link to my DM, the link to your project. Happy cooking, and I hope you're gonna cook one of the Igbo soups, ofe egusi, ofe onugbu. All right, and when you do, please bring for us in the class. All right, so back to you, Coco Chick. You are going to be religious. That is the first thing, the first assignment I'm giving you. As for topics, I know you will also enjoy to learn from the basic topics of basic conversations, everyday conversations, everyday greetings. You may need to learn that. Then I have taught on how to understand Ilu Igbo. How to understand Ilu Igbo is going to help you a great deal to understand the culture of Igbo people. All right. So that is number one. Now, the other thing is, when are you planning to go, Coco Chick? Do you need
I'll be going for my second time in July.
second time?
Yes,
Are you going to stay for a while?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Mhm.
Okay. Can you share if you have any ambition? How much of what you want to learn? Is it words or is it conversation greetings? How much of that was your ambition or was your target?
So our goal eventually is to move to Nigeria. That's the goal. So I want to be conversational by the time I finish. I want this to come like second nature, but I'm just getting started and it feels so hard. So I'm working on it.
Okay. Please, if you can, if you join the Telegram group, we might carve out a one-on-one conversation with you, or even the conversation going on there. The reason is because, yes, you might feel lonely, discouraged, and fagged out. If you want to do it alone, you can't. Even when family is involved, except a family that knows how to intentionally take you through the indoctrination process. Not many families do that. It takes families who are either who have the training, or who are out of passion and knowledge are creating contents for themselves. In such families, yes, you can. But if it's a family that is a normal, regular family may not help you a lot, because they would also want to speak English to you to create understanding. Just like I'm speaking English because of all of you that really do not understand Igbo that much, even though I'm supposed to speak more of Igbo. Okay, so family might not be the best fit in helping you to learn. So you need an organized system of learning, and that is a Igbo literacy project that we are talking about. And go ahead now.
Okay, so I would join the Telegram. Is the link in your bio?
It is on the bio, yes.
Okay. All right. I will start there.
Beautiful. Thank you. What do you have to tell other people who are in your position, who are married to Igbo, who come to this class, or who are here today? What do you have to share with them?
The one thing I guess I want to share is I mean, for me, it's more culturally for a personal thing, right? Not just for my marriage, this is something I want to do for me. It's something I want to instill in our family. There's a culture we're not in touch with. And what I would like, I guess what I want them to know is that it's never too late because I am older, although I'm not ancient, but I am older and it's never too late. So I want to definitely get out there and learn as best as I can, to embrace the culture and the language and instill that in my children so it can continue because I think there's been enough pushing of different cultures. They've been drained and they're slowly, going away. And I think it's important for us to keep that lineage alive. And it's our duty, that's what we're supposed to do. So hopefully, we're all out here trying to gain that experience and knowledge. I'm definitely going to be in the forefront. So hopefully we're there. And thank you for your support.
Thank you very, very much, our sister. I would have loved not to be calling you Coco Chick because I I prefer calling you your Igbo name, but you are still you are still doing tumbum on the names that you're giving. So I will allow you to get you to agree on one, and then please share with us your Igbo name as soon as you agree on which one you are accepting. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
So yeah, so it is very joyful for me to hear that you say you're gonna be in the forefront. And I was saying, I think in the last class or last two class, I've also mentioned it here that it is appalling. It is very disheartening, sincerely, to know that a lot of primary and secondary schools that we went to, we that grew up back from home, that they no longer teach Igbo. And one of the reasons is because they no longer have teachers who are Igbo teachers, because more teachers are studying less of Igbo. Those that are even teaching Igbo now, a lot of them were not trained as Igbo teachers. So you find out that they're giving what they know when they don't know much. So that's why we created our project called Omenka Igbo Club, which is going on in a couple of schools in Nigeria now. And the vision is to continue to expand in those schools across. So one thing I want to tell everybody here is find out in your village if Igbo language is still being taught. If it is not being taught, why? Find out why. If you can do that research for me, you are doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the next generation. Why is Igbo language not being taught in your school again? Is it because students no longer have interest in learning Igbo? Is it because the school is no longer having interest in teaching Igbo? Is it because there are no teachers having interest in studying Igbo and by extension teaching Igbo? Is it because of the Nigerian factor? What is the reason behind the school in your village not knowing not teaching Igbo language today? Right. I don't know what your name is that just joined that said I should speak Igbo. I have been speaking Igbo. So I'm here with a sister that is married to an Igbo man. She is an American, and I'm addressing her, and by extension addressing all of us. It is important that I speak to her understanding, okay? Right. So if you are just joining us, go ahead and be part of the conversation. And amaghị mma nke a bụ nke mbụ ị na-abịa klaasị a maọbụ n'ịbịago mbụ, ana m ekwu okwu a mgbe ọbụla. Ndị na-ege m ntị kwa izu niile na-akụzi ihe ebe a. Ihe karịrị n'ọnụọgụgụ ha bụ ndị ụmụ afọ Igbo maọbụ ndị lụrụ ndị Igbo, ndị na-anaghị anụ Igbo. Okay? Alright, nke a bụghị nke mbụ. Gbaa mbọ ka ị sonyere anyị izu niile. Gbakwa mbọ ka ị weta Omenka app na phone gị. Alright. No. It's fine, Coco Chick. You came up to share your story. Today is a conversation, and I'm not teaching today. And I value each person's story that I've heard, and it is important. It sounded very, very satisfying with me that you, or to me, that you are pledging to be in the forefront, or rather at least to be part of the campaign of promoting Igbo language through this project of Igbo literacy project. So thank you so much. All right. Ọ bụrụ na ị na-abata ugbu a, ndị sonyere anyị na-anọ ebe a ihe dịka awa abụọ, ọ fọrọ nkeji ole na ole ka oge nke anyị nke ụbọchị taa wee kụrụ ọnụ. If you are just joining us, we usually spend 2 hours every week here. It's just about a few more minutes for our time to be up today. Anyị na-abịa ebe a n'izu niile. Ị bụrụ onye nọ na Nigeria, anyị na-abịa ebe a elekere 6 nke mgbede. Chigold, thank you. Daalụ. Ị bụrụ onye nọ na America, anyị na-abịa ebe a when it is 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's when we'll start our class. And we'll spend 2 hours at least to do what we're doing here. So today we have been having wonderful conversations with all of those that came up to share their stories, and I appreciate you. I wish I had all the time to take up conversations more when I have the class. Like, I wish I had up to 6 hours in a row to do this, but unfortunately I have 2 hours within this time to do what I'm doing. Right. So if you are here, you are a person. Thank you. Yeah. Success. It's really been an encouraging discussion, especially learning from the likes of Coco Chick and Ifeanyi and Happy Phoenix and Nkechi, all of whom came up here to share their stories. And I make a luno. Yadrunu nama dịka unu soro na ndị na-akwalite asụsụ Igbo. Okay. Ndewo Obinna Odogwu. Maka ndị na-esonyere anyị nke mbụ, ana m eji Bekee na Igbo mee nkụzi m n'ihi na ana m akụziri ọtụtụ ndị na-anaghị anụcha Igbo nke ọma. Ọ bụghịkwana ihe ịtụnanya na ọtụtụ ndị na-asụ Igbo anaghị abịa klaasị n'ihi gịnị? Ụmụafọ Igbo bụ ndị nwere mpako n'ime ha. Ụfọdụ ndị nwekwana ihe m ji Igbo eme, ana m asụ Igbo, mana chefuo na nkụzi m na-agbadokwa ụkwụ na ka esi ede Igbo. If you know how to speak, you don't know how to write, which is a problem of almost every Igbo speaker. You need to learn. You need to go back to school. And the school, one of the schools you can go to is this particular school that we're in. Okay? It is not an easy thing that I'm making out this time in the midst of my very, very, very stressful, schedule to teach us. So if you are coming now and this is your first time, please know that we're here 6 p.m. Nigerian time, 1 p.m. Eastern time every Monday. And we have Omenka app, which is available on your Play Store and on your Apple Store. You can download from either one. And we also have a Telegram group that we've created to attend to our needs one after the other. So you still have a chance to join us. Thank you for the medals and thank you for the hearts. Useku Foods. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the gifts from all the people. Mazi Kingsley Ibe. Ndewo. Mazi Kingsley Dalo. Right. Kedu ihe nwere egwai. Thank you, Coco Chick, my sister. You are welcome today. Thank you so much. The Telegram group is on our bio, Obina. Kindly use the link on our bio to join. It's going to be on for a while. And then we will start a very actionable conversation there. All right, Kingsley, you are trying to come up. I have accepted your request, but it looks like your network is not allowing you. All right, we would wait a little bit. Okay. So as it concerns everybody, if we do not take this opportunity seriously, if we do not also take it religiously, it might delude us, it might fail us. Thank you, Sekufus. And if we do not put ourselves, immerse ourselves into the process, we will not also do much. Okay. Odoziaku Nkiru, ndewo. Ndewo. Yeah, nsogbu adị ịhụ nwaanyị ọma ezi nwaanyị ị na-agba mbọ. Asị ndị nkụzi niile na-eme ka gị gị na okpuru mmadụ ole ndị ọzọ dịka Chinenye and others. Asị ndị nkụzi niile na-eme ka unu ị gaghị enwe nsogbu, mana nsogbu adị. Anyị ga na-aga n'ubi ka ji na-aka ka anyị marakwa otu ekesi anyanwụ dịka isi aga. All right. For those that are familiar with the Igbo language and proverbs, you see how many proverbs I've used, which I even use less proverbs. As an adult Igbo person, Igbo man, I use less proverbs than so many people who are very well versed in the usage of proverbs. Yeah, but that's one thing I want to encourage you. If you're learning Igbo, learn the proverbs as well. It is very, very important. You cannot do one without the other. Igaya mutachanwu asusu hapu omenala. Yeah, proverb is one of those features of the language that touches on the culture as well. Haso, bro. Maazi kana yo ndewo yedergenama. Amam na ihe na-eme na-aga nke ọma. Right. Taa bụkwa ụbọchị nchịkọta ihe niile anyị mụrụ na ọnwa gara aga. Ụbọchị nchịkọta ka o si metụta anyị n'ahụ. This is another day of documenting or bringing together all that we've learned over the month of May, and how they resonate to us as individuals. So it is a great thing having people who came here to share their individual stories. It really, really, a lot of people, I know you learn from these processes. So dika izu na-abịa abịa, ndewo maazị Kanayo, ya dịrị gị na mma nna m. Dika izu na-abịa abịa agaji ịga n'ihu ịmalitekwe nkụzi ọzọ. We're going to resume our teaching in the next class on Monday, and I would think of what topic I would like to handle. All right, we are going to look at the topic that I would want to handle that would also resonate with everybody, and that would be coming from the conversations that we had here today as well. Right. So Dalono, I really appreciate you. If you want to come up, I want to see the last one person that might come up to share with us. And please, I don't know if I asked us to give a round of applause to Coco Chick. Let's give a round of applause to Coco Chick, please, for her effort towards not just learning Igbo language, but also being in the forefront of promoting it. Igbo language, which a lot of people think is hard to learn at the basics. Why some of us think it is not. At the end of the day, you find out that yes, it is not an easy thing to do. Okay? Right. They won them. Yeah. Learning Igbo as an adult, it is not an easy thing to do. So let us give a round of applause to our sister Coco Chick, who is here to tell us her Igbo name when the family makes that decision. Right.
Yeah, we're still working on mine and hers. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. How are you, kiddo?
Good.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Kidahaya, what's your name? What's your Igbo name?
I don't have one yet.
I don't have one yet.
No problem. I'm glad you're gonna get one. Hey, I'm glad that your family is working on that, because if your family was not, I would have just asked our community here to suggest names to you, and you find out that they're really gonna do an amazing job. So anyway, let's leave that to your family, okay? Right. Maazị Kanayo ndewo maka onyinye afọma ndị ahụ inyere anyị ebe a. Ndewo, ya dịrị gị na mma nna m. Daalụ. Right. Okay. Thank you for sharing with us, Coco Chick, and also with your daughter. It is a very exciting thing. And thanks for the advice you gave to us, Igbo speakers. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. I appreciate it. And we're going to join your group, and it'll be both of us working on learning our culture and heritage. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it too. Right. Okay. We'll begin to round off from here. Igbo language is suffering in the Maazị Kano ya edepụtawago ụfọdụ aha ndị ọ ga-achọ ka ịza. He's writing out some Igbo names. It's okay. We're leaving that for your family. So Igbo language is going through a process. It's going through a serious issue. It's going through a revolution. We need to be part of it. Here is a platform we've created. We wish we could bring all Igbo sons and daughters living overseas and living outside of Igbo land to join the class every week and to join this movement. This is a movement, and you cannot underrate it. I don't know if there's anything else we can be doing at this time in our lifetime that is worth more than promoting, revitalizing, and preserving Igbo language and culture. You gotta do that. It is a must. Anyway, I believe it to the point that God himself might ask you, what did you do to the language I gave to you? As a way of making you understand the need for the promotion of your language and culture. Having said that, ana m ekele mmadụ niile ndị bịara nkuzi nke ụbọchị taa. Ndị na-abịa for nke mbụ, ndị na-abịa nke abụọ, ndị na-abịa nke atọ. Those who are coming for the first time, the second time, and third time. Thank you so much. Ana m ekele ndị ụlọ ọrụ Omenka niile ndị n'ebe a. Those that are joined from Omenka team, thank you. Ana m ekele ndị nkuzi Igbo unu ma onwe unu. Those are Nkiru, Do Good. I don't know how many other people I saw. Maziani and Lady Zomta. Thank you. Ana m ekele unu niile. Ana m ekele all of the people that have been supporting us in this journey. Thank you so much. The other thing that I am happy to do is, if you have occasions that you would like for me to speak to Igbo people or even young people, please let me know of that occasion and get the invitation across. I would like to speak to Igbo sons and daughters, and it is a good thing that we do what we're doing. So thank you, everybody, and I appreciate your presence and your efforts, the gifts, and everything you have given today. God na ụbọchị ọzọ, ụbọchị nta, ka anyị chọọ n'Owerenchi. Daalụ kwana. Ndewo.